MySQL Essential Training. My name is Kevin Skoglund. In this course, we will review the basic PHP data types and learn to use PHP's control structures, like logical expressions and loops, in order to control how our code executes. We'll cover many of PHP's built-in functions, but we'll also learn to define our own custom functions. We'll cover the basics of SQL and learn how to use PHP to connect to a MySQL database, which will allow us to create, read, update, and delete records. We'll learn the fundamentals of user authentication, that is, the process of requiring a username and password to log in to a PHP application. And finally, we'll build a complete PHP web application from start to finish, a content management system that will allow admins to log in and manage the website content that gets displayed to the public. I'm excited, and I hope you are too. So let's get started learning PHP. We're going to start out by talking about what is PHP. PHP is a server-side scripting language. Now you may have thought that PHP was a programming language. Well, technically speaking, it's not. So how is a scripting language different from a programming language? The distinction between them is largely artificial, and the lines can get a bit blurry, but we can do a general comparison. A script only runs in response to an event. It also usually runs a set of instructions by working down the page from the start to the end. It has little or no user interaction after that initial event. So a PHP script does not run until a web page is requested. Then it launches, follows its instructions from top to bottom, and then quits until another action launches the script again. On the other hand, a program runs even when not responding to events. It continues to run and to wait for interaction, whether that interaction comes from a user making choices or from other programs or input. A program also jumps around its instructions a lot more, so that there's often not a clear start and end point. And it often involves lots of user interaction. Photoshop is a good example of an application. After you launch it, it keeps running, waiting for more interactions or for you to tell it to quit. The tasks that it performs are not a linear set of instructions. It jumps around based on the task that you want to do at that particular moment. But as I said, the lines get blurry. As scripts get more complex, they start to resemble programs. And the simplest programs are basically just scripts. If you are a premium member of the Blend.com training library, you will have access to the exercise files that are used throughout this title. If you are a monthly or annual subscriber to Blend.com, you won't have the exercise files that accompany this tutorial, but you can follow along with me. What we're talking about is where everything that's in the exercise files we will create during the tutorial. So as long as you continue to work along with me, your files will exactly mirror what's in the exercise files. Remember that you can pause the video or rewind if you need more time to copy something down. JavaScript is an example of another popular exercise files for this title are arranged by chapter and by movie. And you can find the exercise files that correspond to the movie that you're watching by first looking for the chapter number PHP code and then the movie number. In order to make use of the exercise files, you want to first make sure that you install and configure the necessary software as shown in chapters 2 and 3. That is PHP, MySQL, and the Apache web server. That means it generally can't run on its own. Once you're confident that you have everything installed and configured, then you will want to copy the contents of the exercise files folder into your web document root directory. It's executed by the web server. If you don't know where that is, I show you how to find your document root in the installation chapters. Require the code to be compiled and translated. That's going to be inside my user directory, we'll be able to
inside
just
the
write our
sites
PHP
directory, which
put
we
it where
also
our web
create
server
in
can
the
find
installation
it,
chapter.
and then we can load up the web page.
It's a
and
good
see the
idea to make a
results.
copy of the exercise
PHP is
files so
designed
that you
for
still
use
have
with
the original
HTML.
to refer back to if you
It can
make
be
changes.
embedded in our HTML.
On my Mac,
and we can use
I
it
will
to generate
option drag
HTML.
the folder
In the end,
sandbox
PHP is going to
over
return
into my sites
HTML
directory
to the browser.
Now your files will
PHP
match
code is going to
mine
be our
at the
input,
start of the movie.
and web pages are going
Beginning
to
in
be our
chapter
output.
13, we'll be incorporating a
If you've been working
database
with
into our
HTML,
project.
you're already
And
familiar
for
with
the
having
exercise files
.html.
tool, and it will